Hi, I'm doing Paul McWhorter's Arduino Uno R4 lessons and I'm up to lesson number 70. Now I made a video for this before just to show how I took Paul's program and tweaked it a bit to produce something more in the vein of what I would have written. So the homework was to use PyQt on the PC, or well, that's where I'm using it, or maybe a Mac or whatever, and use it to control the LEDs of an Arduino Uno. Now I've taken the program from my previous video and I've combined it with my lesson 69, which was all to do with the client-server relationship between the two and how you can pass things. Now I'll just show you what I'm doing here. The functionality is exactly the same as Paul's, apart from when you click the button, I'm calling this function send data, so I'm sending the color and that it's blinking, and here sorry, a big buzzy thing wants to come in the window, and then here I'm just doing send color and whether it's off or on. Apart from that's just the stuff for the setting up the client server thingy, what's it. But in my solution for lesson number 69, I said it would be much better if you didn't have to tie yourself to just using a comma as a delimiter from the fields, or colons or whatever. So I did it so I could put anything in. But in this program, because you aren't sure of what is going to be in your fields, I've made it so the program will look and see what delimiters there are available. So there we go. There's my list of delimiters, and if I just go for I in delims, then I'm printing the character of what's in that list. Will that work? Yes, that will work. So what I'm doing is I've got this long list of things, so it will my program goes in and it says hello is exclamation mark in any of the fields that you're passing, and if it is, you try double quote, then you try hash, then you try blah 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 blah, and it's a bit of overkill trying that many, but you get out of it as soon as you find the first one, so it doesn't really matter if you've got lots. So I digress. So we go back to what is happening in send data. So this bit here is just finding out which delimiter you can use, and then I'm appending another field, because in fields I have color, and then I've got blink or on or off. So I'm adding another field to put a \n, which is what Paul did, but he did it in the Arduino thing. And then I'm creating a data string in myData, which is all of those fields joined by the delimiter. So I'm using the join. So in this example, it will be color exclamation mark on exclamation mark \n, and then I'm just sending it off to the Arduino. And if for some incredible circumstance that you were using everything in your list of delimiters, it bombs out there and it goes bleh, and it goes crunch. So we'll go on to the jolly old Arduino side here, and I'm just setting up the pin numbers for the LEDs, and here in the string color array I've created an array of the colors that I'm catering for, and it checks to see whether the color that's been passed from the PyQt program is in there, and if it is, it will say, right, if it's blue I want to use that LED, which is 10 on pin 10, and green is pin 11, blah 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 blah. All pretty damn simple. I'm setting up the pins and everything is the same. This is very similar to Paul's, apart from the split string. I'm doing it so I'm not using a colon, I'm actually using excuse me, I'm using the delimiter that I was set up over here. Right, so when we get down here, we have an array of the things that are passed. So it will be the colour, or the colour, and then it will be on or off or blink. So here we go, and I'm just saying, is it a valid colour that I've catered for in this thing? And if it isn't, we come down there and it's colour not found. So if it has found, I'm just saying, is the second parameter on? If it is, I just turn it on. If it's off, I turn it off. And if it's blink, it blinks. But as opposed to with a normal blink, you might go, if you're blinking 5 times, you go on off, on off, on off, on off, on off, and you've got a nice little for loop of 5. Because you're the LED, you don't know what state it is in to begin with. If it's off, of course it wants to be on off, on off, on off. But if it starts on, your blinking wants to be off on, off on, off on, off on. Because that means that after you've finished your blinking, it will be in the same state as it was before you started your blinking, if you get my drift. So that's why I'm doing this. That is just a toggle. And the reason for that is when the PyQt program is saying it's on, if you've done something wrong in the Arduino program, then the PyQt program will think it's on, but it isn't. I will show you what I mean, which is why, as opposed to 5 times, it's 10 times, and that has to be an even number, otherwise it won't work. It will not be how you want it to be. Now, if you notice, Paul, in his program, it was red, green, blue. Well, I'm using this, which is red, yellow, green. So we'll just try running it and see what happens. There we have this wonderful welcome to PyQt 5, and you've got the blink, toggle, blink, toggle, blink, toggle. So there, toggle red, and oh, if I put that there and I put that, was probably easier. Then you can see what's said. So it got said red on, and if you it says red toggled on there in the window, and it's muted. Does it call you muted? Anyway, and then off, on, off works like anything. Blink red, says blinking red. If you toggle it on and then you blink it, it blinks red, and it leaves it on. And as you can see down here, it tells you everything it's doing. So then we can toggle green off. Then we'll try blue. I don't have blue connected, so It doesn't know that I don't have blue connected, but where's the yellow? I need the yellow. So I will turn that off so everything's in a nice state. So we'll go back to the PyQt program and see what we can do with that. So I will move that. Have I stopped that? Yes, I think I have. Yeah. Right. So in order to set it up, and Peter Karlsson has told me that actually I only needed one of those, because originally I was going to be using a grid layout, but I didn't. So in fact I could have done that. But forget that. I could have done it all in one loop as opposed to those. But we live and learn. So I'm just going through and saying for colour in red, green, blue. So what would happen if I just go like that? Whoops. Copy. Paste. Right, we will run that program and see what happens. And as if by magic, there we have all the jolly old buttons. And if I thought, oh, well, I didn't actually need the blue, I could have just taken the blue out. The blue isn't doing anyone any harm. So as before, blink red. Blue is doing something, but it isn't connected. And then yellow, will yellow work? Toggle yellow. Yeah. The only thing wrong is that up there is written in yellow, and I can't read it, but I couldn't be bothered. So I can blink yellow, and as before, everything works. That's my program.